James Shields will be speaking later on. Gertrude Beal, who's the author of this booklet, which she's run out of. The Underground Railroad in Guilford County. You can sign up on the table in the back as you leave. There are also a variety of other people who've been helping along with that ad hoc committee, including Majid and others. You'll be hearing from briefly in a moment. As you evidently are aware, this is the bicentennial of the first known activity of what became known as the Underground Railroad in Guilford County. And in fact, if you read some histories, like the history of my own home state of Indiana, you will find that some historians believe that the first activity nationally of the Underground Railroad occurred right here with Vestal Kaufman and John Dimrick. Now, of course, we'll hear later on more history about that and various stories and narratives about that history, but it's clear that we are in the epicenter of one of the most significant interracial civil disobedience movements in the history of our country. And we're and residing in the cemetery next door are some of the activists of that very history. And at the conclusion of these remarks today, we'll offer a tour of the cemetery and of the Underground Railroad woods you'll hear more about. This event today is sponsored by several organizations, the first of which is the North Carolina Fellowship of Friends, an organization of meetings that stretches from the foothills to the Tidewater area of southeastern Virginia, several Quaker meetings of which were also themselves epicenters of the Underground Railroad activity, including Deep River, New Garden, and Somerton. Somerton meeting in southeastern Virginia, which was actually near the home of Nat Turner, and whose meeting house was burned down during the Civil War because of their abolitionist activity. So that Fellowship of Friends has a significant history in this movement and continues to try today to live out those principles of friends that led those friends 200 years ago to take such courageous action with their neighbors. The second group is the North Carolina Friends Historical Society, and Barbara Bell, the clerk, will share a bit about that organization.
Well, I want to welcome you to this afternoon's program, and I want to just tell you what the North Carolina Friends Historical Society is. It was a group that was formed in 1977 and chartered with the state of North Carolina with this purpose: to collect, preserve, and publish valuable information relative to the history of the Religious Society of Friends in North Carolina and adjacent areas. In other words, in 1977, people began to realize that if we didn't do something, all these stories like we're hearing today, we're going to be lost. There were going to be stories that were told or maybe written down and stored with people's valuables in the attics, and then when they were cleaned out, so was the history. So this group was formed, and the founding members read like a who's who of members in the past generation. Dedicated people from the staff and the faculty of Guilford College, and this meeting right here, as well as Deep River and some of the other surrounding First Friends in Greensboro. And right now, back in that time, there were over 200 members. Today, we have 70 members. So we are like, if you love history and want to help preserve this history, you can join with us. You have a semi-annual newsletter, and the last one we have is about John Man Lindley. And we all in Greensboro have heard of him, Lindley Elementary School, Lindley Park, but you have no idea what else that man did. It was incredible, and it's all in here. So if you want to know more about it, we have a great website, ncfhs.org, and that is where you can find all of the articles, writings, books that have been published by this group since 1977. They're all on our website. You can purchase anything you see. You can contact us. You can join our society. And I'll be happy to hand out 6 extra copies I have of this to anyone. I don't know, it's like a love from fishes. I don't think they're going to expand. You want one? I have a solicitation. Thank you very much for coming.
I worked in campus ministry at Guilford College for 25 years. When 2 people showed up, I declared victory and pulled it out. This is remarkable. I want to welcome Majik Bennett, who's representing the Warnersville Heritage Community. We wanted to have her share a bit because there are 2 heritage communities in Greensboro declared by the City Council, Warnersville and New Garden. And they have an historic connection between the Quaker Yardley Warner, who came down from Philadelphia to help rebuild the southern community after the Civil War, and purchasing land to make available to those recently emancipated, and the New Garden Quaker community, which was a part of that work. So we want to welcome Majik.
This is just so amazing that I'm standing here in front of all of you all. Before I get started, I want to congratulate, send out a shout out to our HBU home of County College. High Point University. Baptist Church, other organizations, businesses, and individuals that made that happen for that HBU. I want to also thank Mr. Max Carter and his team of the Quaker New Garden via Guilford College community for inviting me out this afternoon. So even though I don't have my crew here, I just feel like I'm just family here anyway. I have something I just want to kind of just briefly read. It's really short. Had it not been for slavery, the death penalty would have likely been abolished in America. Slavery became a haven for the death penalty, and that was written by Angela Davis. So, looked at her movie last night. I just was amazed at all the work that she did. And so, all the work that I'm doing with the Warnersville community. Again, my name is Majik Bennett, and I am the chairperson of the Shalonda Poole Foundation, little girl that was brutally murdered in 1990. Her body was found right behind the David D. Jones School. 24 hours. It was actually just a wooded area. And took the justice system 23 years to find or save it. I had been working with the Poole family. My son and Shalonda was actually in the same classroom. And in 2013, her mom came to me in the grocery market and said, I know you do a lot of things in the community. I want you to do something for my daughter. I had no idea what she was talking about. I said, okay, you have my deepest condolences. What do you want me to do? I don't know, but I want you to do something for my daughter. Well, I prayed on that, and a couple of weeks later, we decided to start the foundation in her honor. I have also worked with the Warnersville Historical Beautification Society, which was former President Mr. James Griffin. He put together this yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This actually, when this book came out, and it states a lot of history about Warnersville, and him and I and many other residents growing up in the Warnersville community. when the Shalonda Poole Foundation was just getting started, the Bennett Bells invited us out. We were like their little baby. So we're actually doing a lot of things with Warnersville and some other things in the community. Every April, which April 25th, by the way, the city of Greensboro said we want a Shalonda Poole Day. So they honored us with Shalonda Poole Day on April 25th. And April also is Child Abuse and Neglect Awareness Month. So every April, we honor Shalonda and having a Kids Fun Day. So this year, we will be having Shalonda Poole Kids Fun Day. I have the flyers here. On April 13th of this year, from 11 to 5, down inside of her brand new park. It's a memorial park. So we have done a lot of things, which is right there in the heart of Warnersville. So we are just so honored to have that and to do that for our children so they can come out and eat the hot dogs and drinks and the games and all that other stuff, horrible stuff for the children. So please, April 13th, please keep that in mind. Also want to show a little bit about what's in this book. This resolution in recognition of the Warnersville Historical Beautification Society was adopted the 16th of August in 2011 here. The City of Greensboro resolution did this in honor of the Shalonda Poole Kids Shalonda Poole Day, April 25th. On that one. Mayor Yvonne Johnson, that's former mayor. Mayor Nancy Vaughn, I do apologize. In behalf of the citizens of Greensboro, the City Council has the pleasure to extend the congratulations of the community of Warnersville to celebrate 150 years. Also, Pat McCrory, governor at that time. This is a Warnersville community 150-year anniversary with this commemorative proclamation in 2015. So it's a lot with Yardley Warner that came. He was a freed slave. He came over in that community, him and some others, and they bought land over there. They built schools, churches, and their own businesses. So we are so proud to have that as our community over there. Mr. James Griffin also, a small picture of him in this Warnersville Community Coalition here. I've had the book so long it's falling apart, you guys, but I guess I can tape it back up sometime. But this is just him saying thank you so much, Sweetie. Thank you so much that with the residents and other people that support the Warnersville community. I do want to say that I am right now the acting community liaison within the Warnersville community. I did grow up there. My mother still lives there, and I do a lot of work with that community. Right now, we are working with the City of Greensboro on a welcoming sign that hopefully will be placed, if you are familiar with the City of Greensboro, on the corners of Florida Street and Random Road. We are also going to be funded with some historical street sign toppers. One of the sign toppers will be located at the former J.C. Price School, which is now the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. Another sign topper will be at the Union Square Cemetery, which is located behind the Goodwill Industries, back behind the railroad tracks. Also one more will be the Shiloh Baptist Church, which was established in 1865. So we are doing a lot of things over. So just wanted to kind of let you all know that we will be doing so much for the Winfield community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Margie. I want to introduce our speakers today on the history of the Underground Railroad in Guilford County. The first, Adrienne Israel, is a professor of history at Guilford College. She did her undergraduate MA at Howard in history, later on a PhD in history, and has been the past academic dean at Guilford College and teaches courses on the Underground Railroad at Guilford. One of her most recent talks over on campus is about her role in the Howard University uprising 50 years ago. If you've seen the documentary Eyes on the Prize, you get to see her in a younger version. James Shields, our second speaker, is also a graduate of Guilford College, where he currently serves as the director of the Bonner Center for Community Service and Learning. And you may have seen him and his role in the Pathway to Freedom in the outdoor drama at Snow Camp. We're delighted to have them share with us today on the thrilling history of the Underground Railroad in Guilford County.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, now I've performed large crowds, but I'm nervous. Stick with me. Mainly because my professor's back here behind me. So if I tell you something wrong, I might get a kick, right? I'm so happy that everyone's here and that you are interested in this history. I came to Guilford College primarily because of this history. I decided to go back to college as an adult student. I wanted to do history. I wanted to be a history professor. And then I got pulled into the community service work. But I came a professor over at Guilford, Texas, over to college, talked about Professor Israel, the work that she was doing, and all the Quaker history of the Underground Railroad. I said, that sounds like a pretty cool spot to go to. And over 20-some years later, I'm very happy to be here, and so many things have happened. What I do want to do for you today is just simply just maybe tell a few stories about the Underground Railroad. We won't get too deep. Those of you who don't like history, especially the youth, I know people say, I don't like history. So we won't get too deep. I was lucky to have gone through the history department at Guilford College, and where history is not boring, trust me. And so while dates are important, names are important, but the stories that we tell, those are the important things. Yes, it is. So the first thing I want to do before we start, I want to share with you a query. And it's a query that I found. I don't know how I found it, maybe it found me, because I've been able to use it in various ways. I've used it when we introduce anti-racism work, and when we do other types